That's a good way to start the video. Um, yeah. So, recently I had watched Deadpool and Wolverine, and um, it was peak. Yeah. No, I usually have something bad to say about everything. But I would have to say that this time around, Deadpool and Wolverine, Marvel, the Fox executives, whoever else was part of it, Ryan Reynolds, they did a really good job. Oh, and hi, editing Revan here. Um, Spoiler alert. Now, before I start talking about the good things, I do want to talk about some of the bad things that I thought, not that were present in the movie, but that I thought were going to be present in the movie. This is before I saw the movie. So I wanted to say before anything that this movie was just going to be some big, you know, ultra meta, like kind of just like if you look in the recent years of like Ryan Reynolds and stuff, he's kind of just playing the same person no matter where he goes. Like he was in that one movie where he's like a fucking time traveler, and he's basically Deadpool in that movie too. So I was like, okay, well this movie's gonna just be filled with meta jokes, and it's going to be filled with, oh my god, Wolverine. And it's going to bank on the fact that, it can travel through any dimension or whatever. And honestly, I had a really pessimistic view of what that movie was going to be. Now, obviously, there was meta humor. That's just how Deadpool is. He breaks the fourth wall, stuff like that. But man, it was so well done. I thought it was just going to be a spew of like bullshit that is all happening right now and stuff that's gonna, whatever. But honest to God, really fucking solid comedy. And obviously you're like, okay, well it's Deadpool. Obviously it's really solid comedy. I don't know what it is. I just think that I've just had such a like pessimistic view on maybe not I was gonna say Marvel movies, but maybe not just Marvel movies, but just superhero movies in general, because I don't know. I thought maybe it wasn't gonna be good, and I was turned out wrong. One of the things that I was seeing on the internet was that the cameos were kind of like shoved down your throat. I thought the cameos were amazing. It's not like they brought back the original X-Men cast. You know what I mean? It's not like they dismantled any of that. Um, they brought a fresh new villain, the bald chick. You know what I mean? The TVA dude, which is like it's really cool that they implemented it as a Marvel movie, but I don't think there's really long lasting effects to the Marvel universe that it has. Besides that like timeline killer thing, that's like a pretty big plot point. But like as far as what Deadpool and Wolverine do, I think it's pretty cool that they were allowed to have their own story that fits in with their universe. And then also, obviously, like, I wanted it to be a little more connected to Marvel. Like, I kind of wanted Deadpool in the Marvel universe. And I understand that he could just probably get back there at some point, interact with the TVA, or the TVA calls upon him, or something like that. But I think the fact that it was its own story that got laid out really well, that it was more in association with the Marvel universe rather than um Marvel being a Marvel project, you know what I mean? Because I feel like that would put more stress to make it this film that has some crazy plot line or some crazy shit that Deadpool is going to have to figure out so that, Marvel can be saved because he is Marvel Jesus. But in all honesty, it was a pretty tame storyline. The I did get sidetracked. I did want to talk about the cameos. The cameos, I thought the entire like X-Men cast was gonna be put back, but yeah, no, it was literally, you had Elektra, you had Gambit, which actually he didn't get a movie, and it was super cool hearing like It's like, oh, I'm about to make a name for myself over here. That's like a big meme now, and it's fucking hilarious. From what I was seeing on the internet and like TikTok and stuff, is that Channing Tatum poured his heart out into that Cajun accent. Apparently, it's really respectful towards the culture, and it's really accurate. He's been working with his dialect coach for whatever, um, and apparently the community of where that resides are very, very, very happy for the representation and the way that it was done. That's always a plus when you have a character that is a certain, speaks a certain way or is from a certain area, and they actually do it well. And that's what I think is really good. And that's why, dude, why can we get a Gambit solo movie, by the way? Um but yeah, there was Gambit, Electro, there was Blade, which was super cool to see. There was fucking Laura. Laura was in there. I don't think it's from the actual. I don't I don't know because I don't think it really explains it. I think she still went through what like the experiences of Logan. I just don't know if Logan was like the universe she was from, you know what I mean? Speaking of Logan, I think that opening scene was not only an amazing way to kind of settle themselves into what this movie was going to be about, but I thought it was really fun how Deadpool used the adamantium skeleton to kill all the TVA members. I think the fact that they were making a joke that saying, "Oh, we're not going to honor Logan's legacy because Logan is one of the best." And I will stand by this, but Logan is one of my favorite superhero movies of all time. Of all time. And so coming into this, I was like, "Oh man, are they really just going to revive his ass?" Cuz that'd be so stupid. And then they said it in the movie and I was pissed. And then he dug up the grave and he was still dead. Um that made me happy because it doesn't dishonor what Logan did for all those kids. It doesn't dishonor what Logan's whole thing was about. And if anything, it heightens it because, yeah, obviously, Wolverine or Logan was used as a weapon, and it's kind of nice for him to die. Maybe not peacefully. He didn't die peacefully. He got impaled on a fucking stake. But, like, he was laid to rest peacefully. You know what I mean? All the kids put him in the grave, and, Laura fucking made the X and whatever. So obviously defiling his grave isn't really like respecting him, but at the same time, you're using parts of him to fight off which would be considered an evil thing, which I feel like Wolverine would get down behind. You know what I mean? Because that this specific, um, uh, what's the word? This specific variants of the TVA were evil. You know what I mean? They were kind of like the black ops of the TVA. As far as the other cameos, you have Johnny Storm. Obviously, that was a super fucking cool reveal because you see him wearing the blue and the red, and you're like, "Oh my god, it's Chris Evans!" You can hear it. "Oh my god, that's Chris Evans. He's gonna be Captain America. What the hell?" And then he's, and then he's like, "What?" I forget the exact thing, but it's like, "Oh my god, he's gonna say it," because they're expecting him to say "Avengers Assemble," so Deadpool's like, "Avengers." And then as soon as he says that, fucking Johnny Storm goes, "Flame on!" And then he goes crazy. Like, I don't know. It was super fun to see kind of these like you were expecting all these like MCU references or like mainline Fox references, and instead you got these kind of more obscure ones, and it was really cool to see how they were able to do that. I realized throughout the other movies that's kind of something that they know how to do. I mean, obviously they had to rebuild from the previous X-Men, so they had Colossus, and then they had uh fuck, I forget her name, the Teenage Warhead or whatever. Um, so like yeah, they have these super cool characters and super like niche characters that they're able to just craft and make amazing. And man, that fight scene where they're all fighting, holy shit, that was so cool. I think that that Deadpool movie, I think I had really low hopes for it, and I think I just got my expectations blown out of the water, and I was really excited the whole entire time. it was nice being able to have him fix the timeline shit, which, because you look at the end of Deadpool 2 and you're like, wow, like what is he doing? Like, he's saving his wife, or his girlfriend rather. Um he killed Ryan Reynolds. He killed fucking I I want to say that it was Deadpool. I forget the fucking the name. The Stitched guy, X20, or no, wait. No, that's fucking Laura. Um I think it's like Weapon X or something, but whatever. It's Deadpool, whatever. Um so it was cool. It was cool seeing him like be able to reset those timelines, I guess. And also, just, can we talk about Hugh Jackman for a second? Hilarious meta commentary on how, that Marvel money brought him back, which I don't think is entirely false, and I don't think it's false to even want to do that. I mean, if I played a hero, and that's the thing, it's not like it's some sort of like Harrison Ford deal where it's like, oh, I have to play this character that I hate again, but I get $1 billion. I guess. Hugh Jackman fucking puts his heart into Wolverine, man. He fucking, and from what I can tell, he loves Wolverine. I mean, if you remember that last little snippet of the movie, where he was playing over Green Day, made you almost cry, man. Showing the entire, like, X-Men storyline, and even, like, the Fantastic Four and stuff like that. Like, it was so invigorating to watch, and it was really nice. I think the fact that Hugh Jackman, obviously, like, you could just say, oh, it was just for the paycheck, but you can't deny that he fucking acted his heart out. You can't deny that that was a great fucking performance on his end. You just can't deny that. Like, that's just the thing. I think if I were to give a personal ranking for the Deadpool movie, I think I'd give it, hmm, I would probably give it an 8.5 out of 10. Now, here's the why. I I think the one point I'm knocking off is for the not co- bleeding into the Marvel storyline as much. It would have been a lot cooler. I know that he can come back at any point, and I know I was just defending this point earlier, but I did kind of want to see more influence throughout the Marvel universe, and I understand the TVA is kind of the big thing right now, whether that be because of Kang or because of fucking Doctor Doom or whatever the fuck they're doing now. I don't know what they're doing now, but they'll figure it out, and I think the TVA is involved, obviously. The point five is also because it's like, it's a good movie. It's a really good movie. Uh, but it's not like it's, we're not. It's not anywhere compared to Endgame. I think even like Guardians 3, I think Guardians 3 is a better movie, just due to like certain things. I'm more of an enjoyer of like more, I guess, impactful stuff. And while I'm not saying that Deadpool and Wolverine isn't impactful at all, obviously it has a lot of times where your heartstrings can be pulled. I just think that um overall, I think obviously, Deadpool's a certain type of movie, and they do that type of movie really well. There's no reason to go off the deep end and try to do something crazy, right? I do think the best part of this movie, and it's been memed around quite a bit, is the whole Wolverine fucking dialogue to Deadpool in the car. Because man, that's a lot, and that's kind of where the Wolverine and Deadpool like rivalry really shines. Is Wolverine as a character really hates Deadpool sometimes, like really hates him, and I would probably bargain to say more than sometimes, like most of the time. So for him to go full just pounding into him and fucking tearing down his character, it was actually a really fun scene to watch. Maybe not fun, but whatever. This video is getting pretty long. I did not realize how much I was yapping for. So yeah, I think 8.5 is a really good score in my opinion. I don't give out tens that much, I don't think. Um So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a blessed day. Bye bye.